Sources of history. How many of you have watched movies pertaining to historical events? Most of you must have watched the movie Jodha Akbar or Mohenjo-daro. How do we get information related to people who lived hundreds or sometimes thousands of years ago? History is a mystery. The manner in which a detective needs proof to solve a mystery, similarly in history too, proofs are required to solve the mystery. Historians write history based on different evidences. Historians' work too is like that of a detective. These proofs are known as historical sources. Today we shall be seeking information about different historical sources. To give us more information on this today, we have with us Dr. Mahesh Divekar. He works as an officer with the Archaeological Survey of India. He has done a great job in the discovery and preservation of historical sources. On behalf of all of us, I hereby welcome Mr. Mahesh Divekar.
My dear friends, I'm quite happy to see you all today. Today I will be giving you all information related to historical sources. Historical sources are divided into three categories: material sources, written sources, oral sources. Let us now seek detailed information related to them. While documenting history, it needs to be done on the basis of reliable evidences. These evidences itself are called the sources of history. Whereas, before making use of these historical evidences, checking the authenticity of these evidences is very important. Their genuineness needs to be tested. Along with this, we need to use these sources after verifying them carefully and with great caution. The sources of history are divided as the material sources, the written sources, and the oral sources. Material sources: forts, monuments, buildings, caves. These things and objects like inscriptions, coins, copper plates, potsherds, etc., or their remains are known as the historical material sources. These sources provide insights about that period. Among the material sources, forts hold a very important place. Hill forts, forest forts, sea forts, and forts on the plains are different types of forts. Due to forts, we get to know the architecture and war strategies of that period. Samadhis, graves, Veer-gala are types of monuments. In the memory of a warrior who has died in the war, Veer-gala were erected. Palaces, ministerial mansions, queen's quarters or Ranivasa, houses of common people are all types of buildings. Buildings and monuments give us insight about the development in architecture, economic condition, quality of art, style of the building construction, and people's standard of living during that period. Now let us seek information about coins, which is yet another important historical evidence. We come across many different kinds of coins created by different kings during their period. Silver, copper, or alloys were used to make these coins. From the coins, we get to learn about the ruler's period of his reign, governance, religious ideas, personal details, financial transactions, etc. From the metal used for making the coin, we get to know the ruler's economic condition and the advancement made in metallurgy during that period. The images of Ram Sita on the coins of Emperor Akbar, or the images of Shiva Parvati found on the coins of Hyder Ali, are symbols of great religious coordination that existed during that period. Coins minted during the Peshwa period bear Arabic and Persian inscriptions on them. based on which we get to know the language that was in use during those days. In India, from ancient times, Karshapan, Mohar, Hon, Dam, Kaudi, Damdi, Dhela, Pai, Paisa, Ana, Rupaya, etc. coins were in use. The importance of coins in human life has led to the inclusion of many words, proverbs, idioms or phrases in our language. You must have heard your grandparents or parents using these phrases. For example, Kavdi Mol, Sola Aane Khara, Dam Duppat, Aplats Naan Khota. Kaudi, Dam, Ana, though are not in circulation today, yet the words and phrases related to them are still in use. Rock as in stone. Inscription means carving done on a stone or wall. On the walls of caves and temples, carvings were made. For example, Tanjavu's Brihadishwara temple. Likewise, Chalukyas, Rashtrakutas, Cholas, Yadavas, all these dynasties' inscriptions have been found. Due to these inscriptions, we get to know about the king's genealogy, the language, script and social life of that period. Inscriptions are considered to be important and reliable source for reconstructing history because year on year it remains in the same form. There are very less chances of it changing. Inscriptions carved on sheets of copper are known as copper plates. Copper plates bared royal edicts, verdicts, donations, etc. Because of the copper plates, we get to know the ancient name of a particular place. Apart from these, chaityas, viharas, temples, churches, mosques, agyaris, dargahs, makbaras, gurudwaras, monuments, sculptures, wells, minarets, village boundaries, village gates, weapons, utensils, ornaments, clothes, decorative articles, toys, implements, musical instruments are also included in material sources of history.